There are moments in life when the weight on your shoulders feels unbearable, when your heart is heavy, your eyes are tired, and your prayers seem to echo in silence. You raise your hands again and again, asking, begging, hoping, yet nothing seems to change. You begin to wonder, is my voice even being heard? But let me remind you of something powerful, something your heart needs to hold on to right now. Allah hears every whisper, every tear, every silent cry that no one else understands. Sometimes the delay you are experiencing is not a denial. Sometimes it is preparation. You see, when things fall apart around you, it is often because something greater is being arranged for you. But we are human. We rush, we panic, we lose hope. We want immediate answers, immediate relief. Yet Allah, in His infinite wisdom, knows that what you are going through right now is shaping you, strengthening you, and drawing you closer to Him. There are times in life when you feel like everything is moving too slowly, when your prayers seem delayed, when the answers you are waiting for just don't arrive. You begin to question the timing of everything around you. You look at others and see them progressing, achieving, receiving what they asked for, and you wonder, why not me? Why is my moment taking so long? But what you must understand deep within your heart is that the timing of Allah is not like the timing of human beings. It is perfect, precise, and beyond anything you and I can comprehend. We are limited by what we see. We judge based on what is in front of us. If something is delayed, we assume it is bad for us. If something comes quickly, we assume it is good for us. But Allah, the one who created time itself, knows what is hidden, what is ahead, what could harm you, and what could save you. So when something is delayed, it is not because you are forgotten. It is because you are being protected or prepared, or perhaps something better is being written for you. You might be asking for something with sincerity, waking up in the night, raising your hands with tears in your eyes, begging for a specific outcome. And days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and still there is no visible change. But what you fail to see is what is happening behind the scenes. Allah is aligning circumstances, removing obstacles you don't even know exist, protecting you from harm you cannot see, and preparing you for something that requires you to grow first. If everything came to you the moment you asked for it, you would not develop patience. You would not learn reliance. You would not experience the sweetness of truly trusting Allah. Sometimes the delay is the lesson. Sometimes the waiting is the transformation. Because the person you are becoming in the process is more important than the thing you are asking for. Reflect on moments in your past when you desperately wanted something and it didn't happen the way you wished. At that time, it may have felt like a loss, like a door had been shut in your face. But later you realized that it was actually a blessing. Perhaps that opportunity would have led you to harm. Perhaps that relationship would have broken you. Perhaps that success, if given too early, would have distanced you from Allah. So what felt like a delay was actually perfect timing. Allah's timing is never early and it is never late. It is always exact. Even when it feels like everything is falling apart, there is a divine order unfolding. You may not understand it now, but one day when you look back, you will see how every delay, every hardship, every unanswered prayer was part of a greater plan that was designed specifically for you. We often think we know what is best for us, but our knowledge is limited. We see only a small piece of the picture while Allah sees the entire canvas. So when you place your trust in Him, you are placing it in the one who knows what your heart needs, what your future holds, and what your soul can handle. This is why true faith means accepting that even when things don't go your way, they are still going in the best way. The delay is not a sign that your dua is rejected. It is a sign that Allah is choosing the best time for it to be answered. And sometimes that best time requires you to be stronger, wiser, more patient, or more connected to Him. Because when the blessing finally arrives, it will come in a way that is far more meaningful, far more impactful, and far more beautiful than you could have imagined. So when you feel like things are taking too long, remind yourself that Allah is never in a hurry because He is never late. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even if you cannot see it yet. Your role is not to control the timing, but to trust it. To keep praying, to keep believing, and to keep moving forward with the certainty that what is written for you will reach you no matter how delayed it may seem. There are moments when hardship enters your life so suddenly and so intensely that it shakes you to your core. It can feel like everything is being taken away from you at once. Your peace, your stability, your sense of direction. In those moments, it is very easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you are being punished, that perhaps Allah is displeased with you, that what you are facing is a result of your shortcomings. But this understanding, while it may feel convincing in your pain, is not always the reality. Hardship is not necessarily a punishment. More often than not, it is a test. A test is not meant to destroy you. A test is meant to reveal something within you, to elevate you, to bring out strengths you didn't know you had. When a teacher tests a student, it is not because they want them to fail, but because they want to see their growth, their effort, and their understanding. In a far more perfect and merciful way, Allah tests those whom He loves. Not to harm them, but to raise them, to purify them, and to bring them closer to Him. Think about it. If hardship was always a punishment, then why would the most beloved of people face the greatest trials? The lives of the prophets were filled with difficulty, loss, rejection, and struggle. Yet they were the closest to Allah. Their hardships were not a sign of abandonment, but a sign of elevation. And in your own life, the challenges you face may very well be a means of raising your rank, of cleansing your heart, and of strengthening your connection with your Creator. When everything is going well, when life is comfortable and smooth, it is easy to become distracted. It is easy to forget to turn back to Allah with sincerity. But when hardship strikes, suddenly your heart becomes soft. You find yourself making dua with a depth you never felt before. You turn to Allah not out of routine, but out of genuine need. This connection, this sincerity is something incredibly valuable. It is a gift hidden within the test. Hardship also has a way of teaching you lessons that ease could never teach. It humbles you, reminding you of your dependence on Allah. It builds patience, teaching you to endure without losing faith. It increases your empathy, allowing you to understand the pain of others. These qualities are not developed in comfort, they are shaped in struggle. At times the test may feel long, overwhelming, and exhausting. You may reach a point where you feel like you have nothing left to give. But even in those moments, know that Allah is fully aware of what you are going through. He sees your effort, your tears, your silent battles. Not a single moment of your patience goes unnoticed. And every hardship you endure with faith carries a reward beyond your imagination. It is also important to understand that tests come in different forms. Sometimes hardship is obvious, loss, illness, financial struggle, heartbreak, but sometimes ease itself can be a test. Having everything you want, being in a state of comfort, can test your gratitude, your humility, and your remembrance of Allah. So whether you are facing difficulty or ease, both are opportunities to prove your faith. When you begin to shift your perspective and see hardship as a test rather than a punishment, something powerful happens within you. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And you begin to ask, what is this teaching me? You stop seeing yourself as a victim and you begin to see yourself as someone being shaped, refined, and guided. And perhaps one of the most comforting realities is this: Allah does not test you beyond your capacity. If you are facing it, it means you have the strength to get through it, even if you don't feel it right now. The strength may not be visible to you yet, but it is there, waiting to be discovered through patience and trust. So when hardship comes into your life, do not immediately assume the worst. Do not think that you are abandoned or punished. Instead, remind yourself that this could be a test designed specifically for you, a path towards something greater, a means of drawing you closer to Allah in a way that comfort never could achieve. There's something incredibly powerful about hope, something deeper than just a passing feeling or a moment of optimism. In the life of a believer, hope is an act of worship. It is not simply wishing for things to get better. It is a firm, unwavering belief that no matter how difficult the situation becomes, Allah is Qadir over all things, and He will respond in the best way at the best time. When everything around you begins to crumble, when doors close one after another, and when your efforts seem to lead nowhere, it is hope that keeps your heart alive. But this is not the kind of hope that depends on circumstances. This is not hope that fades when things go wrong. This is a hope that is rooted in your trust in Allah, in your certainty that He is Al-Hakim, the most wise, and Ar-Rahman, the most merciful. To have hope in Allah is to know that your story is not over, even when it feels like you've reached the end. It is to understand that what you see is only a small part of a much bigger plan. You may be standing in darkness right now, unable to see a way forward, but hope is what reminds you that Allah sees what you cannot see. He knows what lies ahead, and He is Qadir to change your situation in ways you cannot even imagine. This kind of hope is not passive, it is active. It drives you to continue making dua even when you feel tired. It pushes you to keep going even when you feel like giving up. It encourages you to turn back to Allah again and again, knowing that every call you make is heard, every tear you shed is counted, and every moment of patience is rewarded. Sometimes people misunderstand hope. They think that being hopeful means everything will happen exactly the way they want it to. But true hope in Allah is deeper than that. It is trusting that whatever Allah chooses for you is better than what you would have chosen for yourself. It is being at peace with the outcome, knowing that even if it is different from your expectations, it is still al-khair that has been written for you. Hope is what protects your heart from despair. And despair is something that slowly destroys a person from within. When you lose hope, you begin to disconnect from your purpose, from your strength, and most importantly, from Allah. But when you hold on to hope, even in the smallest way, you are maintaining that connection. You are saying, Ya Allah, I know you are there and I know you will not abandon me. There is a special beauty in turning to Allah with hope, especially when you have no one else to turn to. When you stand in prayer, raising your hands in the quiet of the night with nothing but your faith holding you together, that moment is incredibly powerful. It is a moment where your daf meets Allah's infinite strength, where your need meets His endless generosity. And sometimes the situation may not change immediately. The hardship may continue, the struggle may remain, but even then hope transforms you from within. It gives you the strength to endure, the patience to continue, and the peace to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. It reminds you that Allah's help is not limited by time, and His mercy is not restricted by your circumstances. It is also important to understand that hope and action go hand in hand. You do your part, you strive, you work, you make dua, and you leave the rest to Allah. This balance is what defines true reliance. You're not sitting back and waiting without effort, nor are you relying solely on your own abilities. You are combining both with your heart firmly attached to Allah. No matter how heavy your situation feels right now, no matter how many times things have gone wrong, never allow your heart to lose hope in Allah. Because the moment you lose hope is the moment you begin to forget who Allah truly is. He is the one who can turn your pain into ease, your daf into strength, your loss into something greater than you ever imagined. And He can do it in ways that will leave you in awe, ways that will make you realize that every moment of hope you held onto was worth it. There are moments in life when you are surrounded by difficulty from every direction, when nothing seems to make sense, and when the pain you feel overshadows everything else. In those moments, it is very hard to believe that there could be any al-khair hidden within what you are going through. Your mind focuses on the loss, the disappointment, the struggle, and you begin to think that there is no purpose behind it. But the reality is far deeper than what you can see on the surface. Every difficulty carries within it a hidden mercy and a wisdom that may not be immediately visible to you. As human beings, we are limited in our understanding. We judge situations based on how they make us feel in the moment. If something hurts us, we label it as bad. If something pleases us, we label it as good. But Allah's knowledge is not limited like ours. He knows what lies beyond the present moment, what consequences will unfold, and what outcomes will shape your future. So what feels painful now may actually be protecting you from something far worse or guiding you towards something far better. There are times when you lose something you deeply wanted, something you thought was perfect for you. It could be a relationship, an opportunity, a dream you held onto for years. When it slips away, it feels like your world is falling apart. You question why it was taken from you, why your efforts were not enough, why your dua did not bring the result you hoped for. But what you do not see is what Allah has saved you from. Perhaps that very thing you desired carried within it harm that would have affected your peace, your faith, or your future in ways you could not have handled. Sometimes the mercy of Allah does not come in the form you expect. It does not always look like ease or comfort. Sometimes it comes disguised as a delay, a rejection, or even a loss. And while it may hurt in the moment, with time, clarity begins to unfold. You start to see how that difficulty changed you, how it redirected your path, how it brought you closer to Allah, and how it ultimately led you to something that was better for you. Difficulty also has a way of revealing truths that comfort hides. When everything is going well, it is easy to overlook certain realities, to ignore certain signs, or to remain in situations that are not truly good for you. But when hardship strikes, it opens your eyes. It forces you to reflect, to reassess, and to make changes that you may have avoided otherwise. In this way, the difficulty itself becomes a form of guidance. There's also a unique kind of mercy in the way hardship draws you closer to Allah. In your moments of ease, you may remember Him occasionally, but in your moments of pain, you turn to Him with sincerity, with desperation, with a heart that is fully harder. This connection, this closeness, is something incredibly valuable. It is a reminder that no matter how difficult life becomes, you are never alone. Allah is always there, listening, understanding, and responding in ways that are best for you. You may not always understand the wisdom behind what you are going through, and that is okay. Not everything is meant to be understood immediately. Some lessons take time to unfold, some answers come much later, and some wisdom is only revealed when you look back after everything has passed. But the absence of understanding does not mean the absence of purpose. Just because you cannot see the wisdom does not mean it is not there. There are countless examples in life where something that initially seemed like a hardship turned out to be a blessing. A closed door led to a better opportunity. A painful ending led to a more fulfilling beginning. A difficult experience built strength, resilience, and character that could not have been developed otherwise. These are all signs that within every difficulty there is something beneficial, even if it is hidden at first. When you begin to believe that every hardship carries mercy and wisdom, your perspective starts to change. You no longer see difficulties as purely negative experiences. Instead, you begin to see them as part of a greater journey, as stepping stones that are shaping you into the person you are meant to become. This does not mean the pain disappears, but it means the pain has meaning. It means that what you are going through is not in vain. So when you are faced with difficulty, remind yourself that there is more to the situation than what meets the eye. There is a wisdom behind it, a purpose within it, and a mercy that may not yet be visible to you. Trust that Allah does not place you in any situation without a reason, and that even in your hardest moments, there is something good being written for you. Something that will one day make you understand why things happened the way they did,